We are back, y'all. Hot Mic Sports, and welcome back to Steel City Sagas. Man. You know what? It's been a couple weeks, and that's been intentional because I wanted to see if the product that we were putting on the field will actually be the identity that our Steelers carry going into the postseason. Now, usually at this point of the season, I'm used to us backtracking into the postseason, not knowing what kind of team we're going to be. Definitely a threat of being put out in the first round. But guess what? This is 3 wins in a row. A big win today, 29-24 over the Detroit Lions. We've strung together 3 wins in a row. And congratulations to Mike Tomlin with his 200th win, playoff and regular season. I know a few weeks ago we wanted Tomlin out of there. A lot of Steeler Nation calling for his head or whatnot. But they made some changes, and it's been some noticeable changes, and we're going to talk about those today. Number one, I love what they did. They brought in some veteran receivers, MVS, Adam Thielen. They're paired alongside of DK Metcalf because even now we don't know what we're getting out of DK Metcalf from week to week. So it's good to see us have some veteran receivers who can step up when we need them, and Aaron Rodgers can count on them with confidence. And you're seeing that in the last couple weeks of football as we're heading into the postseason. Now, this is a big win today against the Lions because that puts us in position to be able to control our own destiny. All we got to do is win out. A couple of division games, Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Ravens. You know there's going to be some tough-nosed games right there. You know what to expect. Physical. But today we're talking about this win against the Lions, and we're going to celebrate that now in the moment. Because if you know, like I know, Steeler Nation, it's been up and down all season. It feels good to now be able to finally breathe a little bit with confidence, knowing that, hey, we got something we're actually building on right now. We letting Aaron Rodgers lead the offense. He's spreading the ball around. He's getting it done. You can tell him and the coaching staff are now gelling together. If by now you see with Aaron Rodgers, he has his little gestures to the sideline, letting them know, hey, this is what works. I'm glad we called this. I'm glad we're doing this offensive package, whatever the case may be. But the big difference now is allowing Aaron Rodgers to finally step into the leadership role at the quarterback position, controlling the pace of the offense, calling most of the plays, making adjustments at the line of scrimmage, things that we weren't seeing out of him at the beginning of the season. It was kind of like up and down all over the place. Now, I think a lot of that has to do with him trusting the coaching staff, trusting the organization, the tradition of the Pittsburgh Steelers to be able to carry us through. But we didn't know what we were going to get because we all know we wanted Tomlin gone a few weeks ago. There's no secret. These Pittsburgh Steelers we're looking at now weren't the Pittsburgh Steelers then. And so now we can faithfully say that, hey, they're putting something together by what we're witnessing from week to week. This is a big win today because it's going to show me if what we're seeing was a fluke or if this was going to be the real deal. And so I think after a few weeks, things always show itself, right? And now we got to see some consistency. Offense is showing itself. Defense has stepped up in a major way. I cannot stress it. These boys are making plays. So today, without Herbig and T.J. Watt, we were able to still apply pressure on Jared Goff, which is big, And even the win last week against the Dolphins, we were able to apply pressure and get some defensive pressure on Tua. Amazing. Amazing what a little bit of pushing from the fan base can do, right? It's very, very interesting because it was the first time I ever saw us getting booed. But those things are a thing of the past now. There's some things to look forward to. Remember, I said it. We got the passing game going a little bit. Now we need to see if we can run the ball. I'm loving Kenneth Gainwell, y'all. He has to be the MVP for us this year. He's made plays when we need him. He's showing up. He's been the only consistent thing we've been able to look forward to week, whether that's in the passing game or the running game. He's constant. He is a constant. No doubt about it. Now, speaking of the running game, 200 yards rushing today. Ain't that unbelievable? For a team who could not run the ball consistently, being the Pittsburgh Steelers with the identity that we have. But now we can confidently lean on the running game. And that is because we're now allowing Rodgers to call the plays and run the offense, right? Now, Arthur Smith is he's doing a great job too. I got to give him credit because now he's scheming a little bit. We got extra running backs, Jonnu Smith, and Kenneth Gainwell been playing, wide receiver, running back all season. But today we actually got to see some people carry the ball and be in the backfield that we haven't all season. That shows me that our offense coordinators, defense, and our head coach are putting their heads together to strategize instead of going out from week to week with the talent on the field that we have and just relying on that. Now, Today, I was very disappointed to see DK Metcalf get into it with the fan. You got to have a little more composure than that, especially in a big game like this. He did make a few plays after, which was good to see. A back shoulder catch from Aaron Rodgers. The timing was perfect. It looked like him and Devontae Adams, and I was impressed. And that is how I know Aaron Rodgers has a lot to do with the play calling right now. The product on the field is showing for itself. Aaron Rodgers looks a lot more comfortable. He's throwing for a lot more yards. Well, not a lot more, but more yards. And he's putting the ball where he wants to put it. He made some amazing throws. He still has the arm talent we're used to seeing, and Aaron Rodgers can still throw that ball. So you don't got to lie to yourself. It's on the film. He ain't lost nothing with that arm. He's still that gunslinger. And if he can continue to play confidently like this, and we can continue to call the right offensive plays, make the right offensive adjustments, and that defense shows up every week, we may get out the first round. It's a possibility depending on who we play. And with the AFC being wide open as it is right now, aside of a couple teams in Denver, New England, and now Jacksonville coming on, but we actually got to see the Patriots be vulnerable and the Broncos be vulnerable. So I'm a little more optimistic going into the postseason this year as long as we can continue to play like this. The veteran wide receivers have made a difference. I can't stress that enough. Our defensive backs are playing out of their mind right now. I love Jalen Ramsey as a Steeler. I really do. He embodies everything a Pittsburgh Steeler is. And Joey Porter Jr. is playing great. You cannot take any credit away from this young man. He has stepped this game up this season. He has emerged as a premier corner in his league. Now, pressure on the quarterback is something I was worried about, but we were not allowing Jared Goff to get stands and set to throw the ball. He doesn't do well under pressure. We showed up in that way, right? And that was big for us because it took a little pressure off our corners to not have to rely on shutting down the wide receivers as much. Mike Tomlin, 200th win. That's big for him. And as far as being a Pittsburgh Steelers coach, because I didn't think that this season would last. I didn't think that, things would be looking the way they look. And everybody knows, including myself and Steeler Nation, we didn't know what to expect on the field from week to week. But I think now we can come up with a little synopsis of what we got going on. Veteran wide receivers, offensive coordinator, quarterback putting their minds together to figure out what's the best plays to operate on the Sundays, and our defense continuing to show up, right? They've been all season, but they have not broken, and that is something that I have been talking about all year because our offense wasn't showing up. But if our offense shows up the way it has been over the last few weeks and our defense can continue to play like this, we will be a threat, y'all. We will be a threat in the playoffs. But the key is consistency, and that's something that I wanted to see first. Before you saw my face here at Hot Mike Sports again talking about Steel City Sagas. It's the reason why. Because I wanted to see what the product on the field was going to look like. Because, the time we were calling for Mike Tomlin's head, you didn't know what to expect after that. Like, what was going to happen? Were we going to go downhill or were we going to make some changes? I wanted to see if we were going to make some changes. And we made some changes. Good changes. Changes that, as a Steelers fan, I can be optimistic now again. I really can. Because now I'm not seeing that old drag-out, slow offense, not knowing what we're doing, not knowing if we're a passing team, a running team. Are we letting the quarterback call the plays? Are we relying strictly on our coordinators? Like, what are we doing? But I'm going to tell you right now, Aaron Rodgers is starting to come on, y'all. He's starting to come on. And not in the way he may have came on in a Packers uniform, but in a Steelers uniform, his quarterback play has been more than solid. More than solid. I've been actually impressed. I was more impressed to see him keep his composure this season, but now you can tell the veteran leadership is kicking in. He's like, yo, I got it. Just give it to me, right? Give it to me. I'm going to take us where we need to go. Just give me the players that I need. And we did that. Added a couple wide receiver pieces, right? And the offense has looked different ever since. If we can combine that with a consistent running game, boy, look out for us, y'all, on offense, right? I actually think look out for us overall. Because that win against Baltimore did something big for our confidence and big for our wide receivers. Now, let's address this. DK Metcalf. We all know he has the talent to be one of the best receivers in the NFL, y'all. But from week to week, there's no consistency. I'm not impressed with what I'm seeing, even though he's making some plays. Don't get me wrong, he is. But I need more consistency from his position. Dropping balls, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. But I know what he brings to the table. Big, strong, physical specimen. Speed out of this world. if he gets going, it is a problem. So I want to see if we can get him going these next few weeks on top of the running game, because this offense would be way different if we had a premier quarterback wide receiver tandem, y'all. But I am optimistic because Aaron Rodgers is starting to be able to control the pace of the game. I cannot stress that to you enough. This is something different we're seeing, y'all. Now, with Cleveland coming up, they always love to play us pretty tough because it is a rivalry. I want to see if we can take this same intensity over the last few weeks and carry it out through the rest of the season, because these games we have coming up is really going to tell us how strong we're going to be in the playoffs. Yes, the adjustments were made late in the season to get us where we're going, but we need to see if this is going to be able to carry us through in the playoffs and make us a serious contender. I appreciate you for tuning in here with me at Steel City Sagas. This is Devin Hot My Sports. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, comment down below. What do you think made a difference in this Steelers run over the last few weeks? We're now 3-0, y'all. Tell me, what do you think the difference is? Until next time, black and gold, until I'm dead and cold.